Do whatever you have to do out here. But when Earth calls, you make sure you're there with your dress blues on, ready to take the hit. In the meantime, you keep this. I don't need to see a report to know you did the right thing.
In a place as complex as the galaxy in the 22nd century, information is as important, if not more important, than arms. And in that field there is one universally recognized master, a being known only as the Shadow Broker. He's well known for forcing everyone to play his game, giving each enough information to maintain a balance of powers, while still forcing everyone to have to pay for his intel in order to stay in the game. But he's not the only player. Shepard's old teammate, Liara T'Soni, is a respected but small-time, by comparison, information broker on Ilium, who helps Shepard find Samara and Thane. Liara's got a personal beef with the Shadow Broker ever since, during the reclaiming of Shepard's body, his forces got involved and killed her partner, Farron. While on Ilium, Shepard helped Liara uncover information about a Shadow Broker agent known as the Observer, so named because it turned out the Observer was Liara's personal assistant. I know they say to keep your friends close and your enemies closer, but still, that's kind of a big screw-up, so Liara terminates her, in several meanings of the word. I guess to show there's no hard feelings, Cerberus sends Shepard a lead on how to find the Shadow Broker, which shocks Liara even more because it reveals that Farron's alive. Now even more determined, the most respected information broker on Ilium leaves with her terminal still active and no one watching it, but she's got more important things to worry about, like the assassin that tries to gun her down in her own house. Shepard heads to Liara's apartment and discovers another Spectre, Vizier, with the cops investigating this attack. Unfortunately, this so distracts Shepard that the one question she doesn't ask is, why would a Spectre be interested in an assassination attempt on an Ilium information broker? The purpose of Spectres is to deal with threats to galactic peace and stability. She shouldn't be involved unless this is related to an existing case, or assassinating Liara is more of a threat than it appears, but either way, she's holding something back. What should we do about this, Shepard, huh? How about we tell her everything we know and let her come along? That sounds like a good plan. What's the worst that can happen?
Liara's in there! What the hell?
Why does everything always wind up ending with an explosion, Shepard? Inside, she finds one of the bombs is a military-grade explosive, nice enough not to go off so that Shepard could find it and learn that. Along the way, agents of the Shadow Broker slow her down so that Vizier can reach the target first. Perhaps he can provide some answers. Okay, start talking. Liara shows up and reveals that Vizier was the assassin, and she took the data off the dead guy, so we're going to have to catch her. Unfortunately, that involves me trying to drive a sky car using a keyboard, so let's just skip to the end. The hostage. Unfortunately for her, Vizier doesn't realize that even though she tries to do the right thing, this is Shiva Shepard, Destroyer of Worlds.
Is that it? What? Vizier. I let the Destiny Ascension die with 10,000 people on board, including the Council. I personally destroyed the last Rachni Queen. So for your sake, I hope your escape plan doesn't hinge on me hesitating to shoot a damn hostage.
And Vizier really doesn't have a prayer.
The broker's given me damn good intel over the years. Intel that saved lives and kept the Citadel safe. So if the broker needs a few people to disappear, I'll pay that price without hesitation.
There's a galaxy of difference between making a hard choice that will result in an innocent dying and being someone's hired thug. Vizier talks of the Council looking the other way to soothe their consciences, but this is all about her need to pretend that she's no worse than anybody else, even though she is.
You're with Cerberus. You have any idea what your terrorist friends have done?
I know who they are and what they've done. It doesn't matter.
I think it does. Don't you dare judge me. Don't you?
And if they told me to blow up a building or assassinate someone in their way, I'd tell them to go to hell. Any come back to that, dead girl? No? Then I win. Rotten peace, tentacle head. Liara is slightly obsessed over the Shadow Broker, but Shepard will have the chance to make it right, using the Normandy stealth systems to sneak in undetected now that she has the name of the world where he's hiding, in a ship located in an eternal storm occurring at the twilight band between day and night. With the shuttle bay locked down, Shepard must battle her way to a hatch and crack the door to get inside, and then face still more of the Broker's seemingly endless army. All in a day's work for Shepard's people. At last we can free Farron.
No.
Farron.
Oops, my bad. Got any info on how to get you out of there, Farron?
I don't...
Sorry, thought I had it all figured out. Where'd you get all these mercs from?
Raised his own private force. They're completely
Damn, this is one tricky little circuit. Don't worry, Farron, I'm really good at puzzles. Trial and error, that's all it really takes. I'm really stumped. Jack, you want to try for a while?
Shepard, we really don't have the...
Yeah, let's go cack the Broker. We can come back and try some more. We can switch it off in his office. Oh, even better. Be back, Farron. Geez, I really thought that one was going to work. We discovered the Shadow Broker's lair, and he's a big fella. Turns out he's a Yogg, a species that's been quarantined to their homeworld for a little diplomatic incident where they sorta slaughtered the Council's first contact team. Because the Broker is older than the knowledge of his world is, it means that he just killed the Shadow Broker and took his or her place.
I'm guessing you were taken from your world by a trophy hunter who wanted a slave. Or a pet. How am I doing?
Oh yeah, what have you got to say to that? I think you struck a nerve, Liara. But working together, she and Shepard can overwhelm and destroy him. But then the system lights up, and Liara suddenly realizes that, like the Yogg, she could just slip in and become the new Shadow Broker. It's a difficult job, but she's up for it. And fortunately, it doesn't just stop here. With control of the base and the network, Shepard has new resources and opportunities to exploit, and a chance to explore her and Liara as characters, not just a collection of stats. She can take some time to admire Shepard's collection of dead fish, for instance.
So tell me what you want. What are you fighting for? A few stolen months with Thane, before the inevitable.
The Keprel syndrome isn't bad yet, but I don't know how much longer we have.
The final DLC for Mass Effect 2 was The Arrival, combining controversy with boredom. Admiral Hackett calls claiming that an old friend of his, Dr. Kenzen, was captured on terrorism charges by Batarians, and what's worse, has info on an imminent Reaper invasion. To shake things up, you're going to go in and save her alone rather than with a squad, allowing Shepard to choose between stealth or combat to get to her, although it becomes a problem when you discover that Shepard thinks she's royalty and keeps referring to herself as we and us. After slipping inside and busting the doctor out, we, meaning you, I, and Shepard, get the lowdown.
We found proof that the Reapers will be arriving in this system. When they get here, they'll use its mass relay to travel throughout the galaxy. We call it the Alpha Relay. From here, the Reapers can invade anywhere in the galaxy.
There is FTL travel, but compared to mass relays, it's very, very slow. That's how the Reapers taking control of the mass relays makes their conquest much easier. They cut down the main means of travel and leave everyone isolated. The idea is to use that plan against them. Destroy the Alpha Relay, and the Reapers will need to spend months or years to get to the next relay, while the galaxy can prepare itself to try to resist. Of course, mass relays are supposed to be indestructible, so to make sure they destroy it, the Alliance team has gone all out, taking a page from the Batarian playbook. They mounted engines on the asteroids where they found a Reaper artifact and plan to smash it into the relay. Like the small arms, the mass effect field that they plan to put around the asteroid will lighten it while they accelerate it towards the relay. Then they restore it to normal mass to give it a massive amount of kinetic energy, and hopefully that'll be enough. Shepard discusses alternatives with the Doctor on the way to the artifact, but there are none. The choices are destroy the relay or let the Reapers conquer the galaxy. That's it. But I'm afraid everyone has chosen the latter. Yes, the artifact has indoctrinated them.
You have the Reaper artifact just sitting here? Out in the open?
And you built your entire base around it, too. And this is what you mean when you say you're careful? Yeah, Shepard, I wasn't all that confident in the plan these numbnuts had in the first place. I mean, anything that violates thermodynamics always raises a flag in my head. But now, I think there's a 50-50 chance if you fire the rockets on this thing, it'll just spiral into the sun. To show what I mean, the indoctrinated people attack, and they keep saying they want to take Shepard alive, they want to take Shepard alive. Now, you can assume they're using concussive rounds with the bullets, sure. So why do they keep sending in guys armed with flamethrowers? Set flamethrower on stun is not something I think I've ever heard before or will ever hear again. Now, I said before I wasn't reviewing this as a game, but I gotta add something from a pure play standpoint, that this is the point where it took a wrong turn. In Dragon Age, there's a spot in the game where you might have to surrender or be captured, and two of your friends would then break you out to form a party for the full escape. Well, Shepard is knocked out in either combat or by this artifact, so this would be the perfect time for two squad mates to break her out and join her. But instead she awakens in a med bay, which conveniently has a remote control the nearby dangerous robots joystick to help break her out. Now, by now, the novelty of running things by yourself has really worn out, and yet there are these constant repetitive bits of you having to get to one goal and the next goal and the next goal, constantly fighting people. You never realize how much more enjoyable this is with a squad until you have to go solo for long periods of time. Anyway, Shepard's been out of it for 2 days, so the Reapers will be arriving in less than 2 hours. So Shepard books it for the control room.
I want to activate the project.
Warning. Activating the project will result in an estimated 305,000 casualties.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned. Blowing the relay would likely destroy the entire star system. Sorry. A couple of comments have been made about there being no choice involved with this act. The only option you have is whether or not to warn the Batarians about what you've just done, but there's no control over whether or not you're going to do it. Well, let's be absolutely honest with ourselves here. If the Reapers invade right now, it's all over. The galaxy isn't ready to fight them yet. That's trillions of people dead. There's no guarantee that blowing the relay will save them, sure, but it is the best chance to save them. To put it simply, if it was a choice of nuking Pittsburgh to save the entire planet Earth, it would of course be a very hard thing to live with. But if the world is destroyed, so is Pittsburgh, right? And that leads to the second point. The Reapers are coming for all galactic life. So if this is their first stop, well, do you honestly think they will be ignored? Even if you assume the Reapers will only target humans at first, the humans here will attract the Reapers' attention. Since more than 2/3 of the population of this system are slaves, odds are pretty good some of them are going to be humans that will draw the Reapers' attention. And just breaking the fourth wall, we do know what is going to happen if the relay isn't destroyed, because you can just let the time run out. I'm going to go out on a limb and call that a bad thing. Now, I don't know about you, but it doesn't seem like permitting the destruction of sapient life across the galaxy is a viable option for Commander Shepard, who has worked with Cerberus, killed ancient life forms, and recruited assassins, mercenaries, and criminals, all in the name of stopping the Reapers. You have no choice because Shepard has no choice. Being upset at the game about this is like being upset that someone had to die on Vermeer. All you could do was choose there who to save. Here, all you can choose is whether or not to warn the Batarians and hope that they can escape. The alternative is throwing away everything you've worked for.
They died to save trillions of lives. If I could have saved them, you bet your ass I would have.
The good doctor tries to blow the base to stop it from hitting their relay, so Shepard has to run around and stop her until the doc finally just blows herself up. And I gotta ask, how did they manage to build a base so huge in secret in an occupied, unfriendly system? This is like us suddenly discovering China had a complete military outpost in the middle of Oregon. Harbinger scolds her in a giant hologram for struggling against the inevitable, but Shepard stands firm in her belief that there will be a Mass Effect 3, and by God, this time she'll even get on the cover. And with that, Joker saves her, and the Normandy hauls ass just before the asteroid blows up the relay and the system. Admiral Hackett appears for the debriefing, but the outcome looks bad. The Batarians will want blood, and humanity can't fight them if the Reapers really are coming. So it might mean that the best thing that Shepard could do to stop the Reapers is to give herself up to Batarian justice. But, spoiler warning, it does mean that Shepard will have to go to Earth to answer for this at the beginning of Mass Effect 3. And while there, the Reapers will finally arrive, leaving her to have to reach a shuttle to try to get her off Earth safely. But at least hearing those comforting and inspiring words from the cockpit.
Shepard? It's me, Conrad Werner!